How is everybody? Sending lots of love to the fam. Been quiet for a few days. Just pondering life really. And went to a mini festival on Saturday because I was invited to Fire Breathe. So that was lots of fun. First time out in, I can't even remember how long. So, and it was obviously I didn't know anyone there, so it's just lots of hugs with strangers. Just felt like old times. So it's quite cool. And they'd done their whole garden up like a little festival. So they had like everyone was camping in tents, and they'd put like marquees up. There was strobe lights and pop a DJ desk and like little wooden signs with, like camping this way, toilets this way, bar this way, and bunting and a glitter stand and all of that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it was cool. Just nice to be around people again. Because it's been so long. So yeah, there's lots of dancing around, and a good time was had by all. Just for a few hours at least. It was just almost like COVID wasn't there. So it felt right. Just around people, just happy to be around other people. It was fun. So yeah, I kind of had a lazy day yesterday, but I saw there was a big march as well. 1 million plus people in London marching for freedom. So that's amazing. I'll say one thing I found speaking to these people at this little festival. And it was, everyone was just feeling the same. And everyone's going through the same. And there's just something about that feeling that it's kind of comforting, like just knowing that whatever it is you're feeling, you're not alone. And then just remembering that everybody everywhere is that going through, obviously to varying degrees. And we're not in a war zone. puts it all in perspective, really. So kind of been thinking, just going back and thinking about why I started doing these videos in the first place, and the sort of how it's changed somewhat over time. Because I guess I just wanted to be heard initially, because of everything that was going on. And yeah, as time's gone on, and just to help people obviously as well, if I could, just by sharing information, just a small cog in a big machine, and everyone's just as important. I'm just trying to do my bit. And one day my kids will see these. They'll know. So it's all good. So yeah, I'm sending a lot of love. I'm feeling a lot of love, so I'm sending a lot of love back out into the YouTubeverse, multiverse, dimension crew there. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on still every day, as we know. What I want to know is how people can't, I mean, obviously as time is going on a daily basis, it should be very obvious that they're just not, the people that we've got in charge are just not acting in our best interests. And when you think technology is just outpacing humans right now at a rate of knots, and we've just been so distracted, it's kind of creeped up, hasn't it? It's just kind of creeped up, and it's everywhere, and it controls everything to a certain extent. But the thing, we've got technology that can review thousands and thousands of data points from thousands of different sources in a heartbeat, and can give you an answer or a plan based on parameters that you set, and it can do so without bias, without emotion, and it can give you an answer. And that would essentially would mean that why have we even got the, not that this is the way I think it should go, but this is the danger in the essence, like, why have we even got these people in these positions who take a year to, go to and fro, arguing tit for tat, not doing anything to pass something that then takes another year or whatever. We can't work at that slow pace. Humans are working too slow. If a technology can make these things like this, and humans are slowing progress by their inability to make a fucking decision or implement change. Why? Because of their personal biases or personal beliefs or emotions about something, or indeed being corrupt and just not doing what's in the best interest. And if you've got got technology that's been around for years, it's only getting better as days go on, that can make these decisions like this without any of that shit. Why do we need these people anyway? Why are they being paid all this money to sit and basically argue over what's best, when you could essentially set up a program to, right, well, these are the rules, these are the things that we need, these are the data points, review, give you an answer without any of the biases. We're just giving the best answer. It's these people that we've put our faith in, that we've voted for, rightly or wrongly, based on what's been said or promised and not delivered. And they've won people's votes using whoever's got the most money, whoever can get the most media attention, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the right person. And then they're in there and they're just not doing what the people want. So what is the point of having them? That's the whole point of that job. That's why they're paid so much. They're on the front line. They're not putting their lives on the line like military men and women or NHS or police or, right now, anyone that's in a public facing job that has been for the last year, carers, shop workers, people in petrol stations, cleaners, they're the ones that are working the hardest, that are putting their lives on the line, that get paid the least, that get appreciated the least. And these other lot, they're paid a shit ton of money to sit in a fucking office in number 10 and just argue with each other and never get anything fucking done. Not anything that we want anyway. And not anything that's fair. Like, and the point is, if there's technology around that could do this decision making for us without any emotion attached to it, without any bias, without any discrimination, Do you know what I mean? It just makes that whole section there redundant. But you don't want to give it to technology or AI because that's that's Terminator, Rise of the Machines waiting to happen if it isn't already at that point, as Elon Musk says. So, but you can't be we're in this fucking mess because people are taking too long to do shit. It's taking way too long. Way too long. When technology can do it to make things happen like this. People are the problem. Those specific people. Like, how long did that George Floyd... Has that bill been passed? That George Floyd... It was written a year ago. And it's taken a year of to and fro and to and fro and to and fro. It hasn't even been passed yet, I don't think. Like, you just can't work at that pace. Like, things have changed in a year, so already it's redundant because you need to add. It needs to add on loads of other things that have happened. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't work at that slow fucking pace. It needs to be quicker. They seem to pass shit on the sly quick. Things they don't want us to know about. They're like, "Oh, distract over here. We'll just slide this legislation in here that takes away everyone's rights. We'll do that one without any checks and balances. We'll distract them with this one over here." So they're just not doing anything. Not that we want, anyway. They are in. So let's give them a due. So there are changes. Biden's made changes, but at the same time, then they're supporting war, so everyone's fucking up all over the place. It's got to change. You can't. It's insane. It's insanity. It really is. Doing the same thing over. The very definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It's just got to change. We've all got to change. Grow up. Move faster. Make quicker, better decisions. You can't make a decision. If something's written a year ago, it's just a year to just even pass something, let alone implement it. It's just, by the time it gets implemented, it's just so after the fact. It's like all of these other things have happened. All of these things that could have been prevented if it had been passed at the same time it was fucking written. Like, come on. Just can't work at this pace. Nothing works. So on this side, they're talking about, I don't know, I think it is similar in other countries. So this guy here, Genrick, he's actually my local MP. Lucky me. Housing secretary. This is to do with 400,000 people facing eviction threat. Charity warns of homeless spike as Tories end temporary bailiff ban. Great, that's what everyone needs now. So it says about 400,000 people face being turfed out of their homes as the Tories' temporary eviction ban comes to an end today. A large-scale victory by Joseph Rowntree Foundation has exposed the disproportionate impact of the COVID-19 crisis on renters, with the charity finding clear warning signs that a spike in evictions and homelessness will follow the lifting of the ban. From tomorrow, renters will no longer be protected from evictions enforced by bailiffs as the temporary ban in England, which came into force in March 2020, is lifted at the end of today. Surely it should only be lifted when people are back in work and being able to afford this. If they've been out of work because of this. And not only, and this is another thing. What? Why? So I think everyone's coming to terms with this Wuhan thing. It is from Wuhan. Not only the lab. It's not. Anything to do with the people of China. Let's just get that right. It's specific to the lab. The lab is funded by the West, and therefore it's man-made. Because it's man-made, it is a weapon. It's also patented, which means that people are making money off of it. And if it is a weapon, then these are crimes against humanity that we're witnessing. And what? You know what I mean? It is. Because if it has been made, what's the research? It's called gain of function research. Gain of function research. So they're intentionally making it more dangerous. It's been patented to make money from it. It's been there's no way it could have leaked out of a high security, high level biological lab, right? So who released it and why? And why were they doing it in the first place? Why would anyone want to create? Why would anyone do this? Why would anyone actually spend money on funding research to create more dangerous viruses than they already are? Why would you even do that? Just asking for trouble. You're fucking with nature. And however it's gotten out, it's gotten out. But it's millions of people have died. Why is no one? We should be wanting to know the answer to these questions now, not in 5 months, 6 months, a year's time, like the fucking UK government want to do. Oh, we'll worry about it in 2022. No, mate, no, we'll worry about it now. Thank you. We want the answer to these questions now, because not only have millions of people died around the world, millions of people have lost their jobs. They're going to lose their houses if they haven't already. You know, there are people who are hungry and starving, and then that's even without even factoring in, if we want to go onto the 10-year war. Why has it gone on for 10 years? Israel had 11 days and they managed to sort it out. Not to say it's sorted out, but they stopped bombing each other in 11 days. Why is Syria still going after 10 years? And don't even get me started on ivermectin, right? It's a crime. If these companies are creating drugs which have created an addictive millions of people who are addicted to opioids, right? That they created. That's not even factoring in fentanyl, which is created by Johnson & Johnson. Why would they even create it? It's so much. It's how many times? Like I don't even want to. Can't remember it off the top of my head. But a gram can cause 50,000 overdoses. Why would you even create something like that? What is its purpose? These are the kind of companies. Why is anyone trusting them? They've got billions of dollars worth of payouts for their carcinogenic drugs. They're drugs that they've said were okay, that were approved by all of these bodies that they fund. And people took them because they were told that they were okay. And like good little sheeple, everyone took them. And then they've subsequently done research and found that actually no, they're dangerous and could cause death and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementia and cancers and autoimmune diseases. And these are from the very companies that are telling you to trust them right now, to trust them with your body, with your life, with your health, when they have a history of doing this. Of paying people to do research which only says what they want them to say, and they fund the research, they fund the universities, they fund Gatesy, the devil. He funds John. He gave 20 odd million to whatever Hopkins University, who and he also gives loads of. That's another story for another day, but. If these people have got a history of lying, to the extent that it affects people's lives and health. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't have to believe them. I've done my own research, thank you. My body, my choice. It's really as simple as that. So go back to, and yeah, so ivermectin is a proven, it's a therapeutic, it's a steroid, it's proven, it's been around for a long time. It's got loads of research on it in terms of what side effects. The side effects are, so they're known side effects because they've got a long research. It's not new technology. It's something that's been around for a long time. And it has all of these benefits, like serious benefits, to save lives. And they have continually refused to approve it for use. And this is going back from March last year. So it could have saved, theoretically, because of how it's working, for the people that have been lucky enough to get it, they've had to take hospitals and that to court just to get the treatment that they deserve that will save their life. This is a joke. It's a joke that you have to do that. But there's no money in it. So it's not being approved or put on the guidelines or whatever. So they have got blood on their hands. They have literally got blood on their hands. All of them, all of the governments, they have. Because had that been approved right at the beginning, then who knows how many would have been saved if it's saving, if everyone that takes it, their life's saved. All of them then. So on this eviction, if people's, just thinking, if people's all, and if lives have been saved and everyone wasn't as stressed and everyone would have been back, then we wouldn't still be in the situation now. It would have been over already. See what I mean? And people might not have lost their businesses or lost all that money from not being open all that time. Who knows? But they're even talking now. You can hear it. They're talking now. Oh, we might delay the full opening. I said, oh, they'll have a fucking riot on their hands if they do. They'll have a fucking riot on their hands. Yeah, people are tired now. And there's more people that ain't, just thinking get stung for it. There's way more people than they think anyway. There's certainly way more people than they would put on the media or mainstream media. So yeah, where am I here with this now? Oh, because obviously they're also ending. I mean, this is gonna. If they don't step in, if this generic, well, a bit generic, they don't step in, that's likely 400,000 families homeless, and they won't be able to get any. Not only could they be homeless, but because of not maybe because of rent arrears, bad credit, means it could mess up their ability to get another place. And then what they're going to do? They're going to need to go to council, and the council's ain't got 400,000 houses. So what they're going to do then? They need to do something. And I watched a program earlier, and they were saying, oh, you know, some landlords are obviously happy because they think that some tenants are using it as an excuse not to pay. Now, it's a tough one, because if there are people that are working and not paying, that's different. They're just not paying because they're going, oh, it's COVID, so I'm not going to pay my rent. That is different. That's just trying to abuse the system. But then if there's 400,000 families that are genuinely lost their jobs and I haven't been able to get any other work, then they should be supported. But then so should the landlords as well then. Surely this should be covered as a force majeure or something like that under insurance, landlord insurance. So they should still get it covered by their insurer as a landlord. It's got to be a force majeure. It's got to. So he's saying high levels of rent arrears are restricting families' ability to pay the bills and forcing many to rely on additional hidden borrowing. This is not only deeply unjust, it also economically naive and risks hampering our economic recovery, which is reliant on household spending increasing as society continues to reopen. The survey also found a stark contrast between renters and homeowners, with the former twice as likely to be worried about covering housing costs, prompting fears of a two-tier recovery in which renters are left behind. But the government basically aren't doing anything. They're just kind of going tough shit. So bloody Tories for you. They don't care about anyone else but themselves and their mates. And here's what the what was it? Who was it? Dominic Cummings, yeah. I can't remember whether he was fired or he left or whatever, resigned or something. And you know what I'm saying? Beginning of the year. And it was over his like little drive out. Listen, everyone's fucking breaking the rules. These lot are breaking the fucking rules. They're breaking their own rules. Why is he getting such a hard time, right? When Hancock here, yeah, Matt Hancock's failure to resign over his ministerial code breach sets a precedent that rules do not apply and give ministers free rein to break the rules. The warning follows Lord Gates' investigation, which found that Health and Secretary broke the code by failing to declare his financial stake in a family firm that received NHS contracts. Oh, Kelsey, please. But said it fell short of being a resigning matter. See what I'm saying? They're just picking and choosing who they're gonna like, who's the lamb to slaughter. Or Dominic Cummings, he is. It's like, you're all fucking doing it. You know what I mean? We're not stupid. I swear they treat us like we're fucking stupid. And I was watching the parliamentary channel, because the kind of shit I do on a Sunday night. And I was watching, it was a report into the committee meeting on the Greensill supply chain finance debacle. Now, what's the name? What's the dude's name? Rishi, yeah. So the guy was there questioning the Rishi Sunak, right, about this money and about what his sort of part was, and he was literally like, I don't know anything about this. I don't have anything to do with that. It's like, mate, you're the fucking treasurer. You should know where the fucking money's going. You should know all these questions. You would have been told in advance of this committee meeting, so you should have gone and got the fucking information if you didn't know it. And it's more alarming that you are supposed to be in charge of the public purse and you don't know what is going on. You don't know where the money's fucking going. Like, what chance have we got? What chance have we got if the guy who is in charge of the money doesn't know where the money's going? Really? It's just, who are these people? I swear. Literally. It's concerning. It should be deeply concerning. It should be deeply concerning who these people are. And just how they are bumbling around. Like, they've obviously just gotten away with shit for so long. And nobody's really questioned it or looked into it or anything until this year. And now it's like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? What are you actually doing in there? I'd love to be a fly on the wall in number 10. It just feels like we're in this like never-ending episode of Spitting Image. And the fate of the country is in the hands of bumbling idiots that just think that they know better because they've got a degree from Oxford and they're all mates and they've all come from the same fucking university, like, oi, 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 like that, or whatever secret handshake they've fucking got. Yeah. And whatever sort of occultist oath they've had to take, no doubt. And the other thing we should be slightly concerned about is how, I mean, I've done many an episode on Rupert Murdoch, but how far up the Queen's arse he is, for one. The second thing is how he's basically got like a room at number 10. This should be concerning. Like, how can he have that much power that he's just flipping in and out of number 10 whenever he feels like it? He should have nothing to do with anything. But he somehow has this power, doesn't he? And when you've got somebody with that much power that they're just in and out of governments, and they're a businessman, and their business is media, print, radio, TV, news, and finance, because he's got the Wall Street Journal. And let's not forget as well, if you think about Australia, he's got a real stronghold in Australia because that's where he started. And he puts out fucking climate change deniers, like denying shit on his channels. So there's quite a large contingent of people in Australia that just don't believe that climate change is a thing because they watch his shit. They watch his channels. It's true. And they did They did a program where they went around after the fires. They were saying, "Oh, it's because the reporters were saying, oh, it's because of climate." People were like, "No, it's not. It's not climate change. Oh no, it's all lies." Um, so yeah, you know what I mean. If you can have that much power over people's beliefs, and yeah, that's just so dangerous. It is really dangerous. And you think all those people that are being taken to court, aren't they, for the riot on January 6th, and they're using foxitis, or that's obviously just a jokey term for it, but they're they're actually blaming their beliefs on Fox News. Like, that's what they're using as their defense. Like, oh, we wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Fox News. Like, there's no way that could slide. But if there are a lot of them saying it, then surely Fox News should be pulled into court for something. Like, for having the power to alter people's, or what's the word? Alter people's thoughts and opinions to such an extent that it's going to incite anything, incite whatever. Because that is not the only thing that Fox News does. Because they basically incite hatred as well. So if we're going to go down that route, just bring them in. At this point, at this point in time, I think you just got to break all the rules. Everything. If you want to get shit done, you just got to make new rules, because some of these old rules just they don't work no more, do they? They don't work for everybody, and that's not fair. We live in a system where it's only the rules only benefit this small amount of people. It's just not fair. It's not a fair system. Everything takes too long. We need to be quicker. So what was the other? There was another story here. Oh look, here we go. This is another interesting one. It's about lawsuit urges release of Indian variant data. Oh, I'll tell you about it. Something to hide, campaigners say, because the Prime Minister has intervened to block the publication of this data, right? Oh, doesn't sound suspect at all, does it? Right. The government body charged with protecting public health has acted unlawfully by surrendering its independent judgment under political pressure, according to a legal letter sent by campaigners. Public Health England will face legal proceedings in the High Court unless it immediately publishes data on the spread of the so-called Indian COVID variant in schools, the letter said. The pre-action letter sent by the citizens advocacy group and data rights firm AWO follows reports that PHE was preparing to publish the figures earlier this month, when Prime Minister Boris Johnson intervened and put pressure on it not to do so. PHE is bound by law to be politically independent. It now faces a judicial review, with the letter complaining that it unlawfully acted under dictation from the PM's office. Both Mr. Johnson and Health Secretary Matt Hancock are named in the claim as interested parties. I bet they are. Obviously, people getting, because of how it's just still in everyone's psyche, because it's on all the fucking time. If media did not report on COVID, if they just stopped reporting on the numbers and the deaths and everything, because it's down to one death. Like, why are we still talking? Why? And Bojo, innit? Like, why are we still? It's just. I mean, if they weren't reporting on it so much, like 24/7, people would have a bit of breathing space, mental breathing space, to just, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, there are some people that are freaking out, and they're all the vulnerable people, because they're all the ones that are stuck at home, probably, watching the TV all the time. Like my mum, if I was not here, my mum, she would have gone cray by now. I mean, she is slightly cray, and so am I, but she would have gone full cray. She would have, because she just gets sucked in. I'll be like, Mum, come back to me, come back. And I show her, show all the information. She's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. But you can get swept away with it. You could, if you, so inclined. And people are, and it's scaring them to a point they won't leave the house. And you can't have that. It's just not right. It's not right. And then it's going to cause a divide as well. I can see it already happening. As time's gone on, and with this vaccine as well, and like people getting funny. People start to get funny about people that aren't vaccinated. They're getting at Shay. It's like, well, I mean, I've got no intention of spread. I'll happily wear a mask. First and foremost, I don't go out, so I haven't got to worry about it. But I don't mind wearing a mask to protect other people. That's just being respectful. You know what I mean? I'm not really in any places to be around it anyway, so no one need to worry about it. But people are getting funny. Then that's going to cause division as well. More division. It's like, that's the last thing we need right now is more division. We need. Hey, babe, you know what I'm saying? I literally was listening. I'm not even joking. I was listening to that Seal song like yesterday. 22. We've got to get a little crazy. You know what I mean? 100%. Right. So let me just read you this. Right, so PHE is bound by law to be politically independent. It now faces judicial review, with the letter claiming that it unlawfully acted under dictation from the PM's office. Both Mr. Johnson and Health Secretary Matt Hancock are named in the claim as interested parties. The letter comes after education unions wrote to the Education Secretary Gavin Williamson last week demanding the release of the data, as concerns are growing that schools and colleges could be spreading more contagious variant after guidelines on face coverings were lifted. Citizens Executive Director Clara Maguire says it defies belief that PHE is refusing to publish this data, despite scientists, teachers, parents, and unions all saying that they need to safeguard health. So that in itself is just alarming. Not I don't believe because the data is going to be scary in any way. It's more probably because they're hiding something. That's my point. It's like, why wouldn't they? If there was nothing to hide, why wouldn't they just release it? They wouldn't they? Because they're releasing fucking data 24/7 on mainstream media, right? They're releasing fucking, it's in your face all the fucking time. So why this one? Why won't they release this one? So they've got 7 days to respond, basically. They've got 7 days to respond to release this date, and if they don't, they're going to be taken to court. They're going to be taken to the High Court. Bring it. Let's see it. Let's see what it is. Let's see how many. I want to know how far the lies go. I want to know. What else we got here? Oh, what was I going to tell you? Hold on. So I saw this. I saw a couple of videos actually, and they were about this scientist in Kenya who has worked out a way. I'm going to say now, this is the first time I've seen this. Maybe everyone knows about it. I don't know. But worked out a way to make bricks out of waste plastic. And these bricks are indestructible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they are really, really strong. Obviously, it solves a plastic problem. And we all know about that, don't we? So amazing. So she said it spent years trying to do it. So at the moment, they're just doing it small time, like on pathways and stuff. But someone needs to back this girl. She's genius. And there's another guy as well doing it somewhere else in Africa as well. But you know what also interested me is when she was talking about it, they were saying that the US have fought. I did not know this. The US sends some of its plastic rubbish to be dumped in Kenya. And they've now created a trade deal with Kenya, which the only way that they agree on the trade deal is if Kenya accepts that the US plastic rubbish. That doesn't seem right to me in so many ways. Like, why can't they deal with their own fucking rubbish? Why are they shipping it to dump it in Kenya? This is just really wrong. But she's genius. So if we can use, there's so many things to do with plastic now that you can turn it into fuel. You can turn it into carbon. Wait a minute. I don't want to say that just in case it's wrong. I shared the video the other day. You know the one, which is jet fuel. Creates you can there's a process plastolysis, and you can turn plastics into fuel. So. And it's good, and I want to say it's good for the environment, but I'm not entirely sure that statement's correct. It is definitely better, isn't it? Getting rid of the plastic and converting it into something that is useful. And, well, in fact, 2 things. So you've got bricks, solving home issues and waste issues, and jobs, all at the same time. This woman needs funding, she needs a medal, she needs a cuddle, and generally some high fives, I'm thinking. So I'm going to put her videos in because I think she's amazing. And there was another, but also, like, Biden, just get rid of your own bloody rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you shipping rubbish over to Kenya to deal with? It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Surely. And in other news, apparently Bezos is turning a corner with regards to workers' rights. I heard this on Bloomberg TV, my new favourite thing. Apparently he's he's going to be he's made a statement saying he's going to actually be focusing on, because there's obviously not everywhere. Some places do have better workers' rights and pay and but then that in itself isn't right, is it? Because when he employs over 1 million staff. Amazon employs over 1 million staff around the world. How crazy is that? And he has to make it fair for all. He has to make it fair for all. That shit that went down in Alabama, where firing people that just because they've been to a protest, yeah, it's just right downright wrong. And on the basis that he would be nothing without them. What if all 1 million of those workers just went, fuck it, I'm gonna protest today? If they all protested or to strike or whatever, it wouldn't go round, would it? The cogs would not turn on his business. He'd be fucked. So he's made enough money off of everybody over the last, obviously, since the very beginning, but particularly in the last 16 months or so. So he should really respect those people and treat them well for making it what it is. For making him I think it's something ridiculous, like £250 million a day he makes. Like, you know what I mean? Not too shabby, is it? So he should really look after them well. But apparently he's looking into it, so maybe he heard. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. I will see you tomorrow for more nonsense. And I hope everyone's okay. Sending lots of love. Virtual hugs. And I'll see you tomorrow.